Hello, it is Sara Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Moon Astrology Tarot. And this is the moon in Gemini. This is August 26th through the 28th. So we start off this week with a moon in Gemini and Mercury slowing down. He's at his stationary degree, though he will not station direct until after this moon in Gemini, which with all, and this moon is going to third quarter square the sun, square Saturn, square Neptune eventually. Um, so we got a lot of, oh, and Venus. I keep forgetting about Venus. So we got a lot of square action going on with Gemini energy, a sun in Virgo, and Mercury stationing. So Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury. So I feel like this could be flaky airhead on fuego. It could also be tech glitches. I mean, this has been a crazy, weird, intense Mercury retrograde anyway. But I think that it's going to go out with a bang or out with a big tech glitch of some sort. Could be just minor things, could be big things. Who knows? And communication obviously will be a thing. Mind and thinking and mental processing could be a thing with this moon moving through Gemini. Remember, Gemini is like communication, it's information, and we've got Mars there, we've got Jupiter there, and everything aspecting Saturn and things like that. So, and we're also halfway to the new moon in Virgo. And so keep that in mind as well. And you can check the links below for the Virgo season, sun and rising signs, but I think this is really going to be an intense Virgo season. In fact, well, I mean, that could be said for like the rest of the year, right? um, but yeah, so with all the squares going on, and just where everything is with Saturn, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Venus getting ready to finish up in Virgo, Mercury getting ready to station direct, which hallelujah, he's stationing direct, but he will be in shadow for the next few weeks or so. So, we're not quite out of the woods just yet. He's got to cross back past Chiron, which I think I kept forgetting to mention that he tried Chiron in his retrograde, and then squaring Uranus again, and then all of that. So we're not out of the woods with Mercury. And I think this is going to kind of amplify the mercurial energy. And I know I've talked a lot lately about being your own authority and being your own leader. This is really digging in or feeling into that solar plexus chakra, feeling into your gut. Virgo does rule the digestive system, and so often referred to as the second brain. And so paying attention, being attentive to processing information, things like that. This might be also like attentive. You may feel like you're a little flaky on your attention to detail with this moon in Gemini. So it really could be flaky airhead on fuego. Uh, so, so be patient with yourself, be a little compassionate with yourself, be a lot compassionate, give yourself grace and space to move through all of the things. And we were heading into, I know that was an intense Leo season, but I feel like the intensity is basically going to persist from this point on for a good while, like until 2026 or something. And so, it's going to continue. We get a break here and there, but really it's all about mental endurance and stamina. It's emotional management, and things like that. And, just having your ability to discern and an ability to critically think and an ability to also acknowledge that we all have a blind spot, that we all have something that we can't see about whatever it is we're involved in. And I mean that more metaphorically and figuratively than literally. So, but because there's always something about something that that we are either unwilling or unable to see. So let's see what's up with the tarot. All righty, what we got going on here. I feel like we've been a perpetual case of the Mondays. Okay, we got the star in reverse. So you're not feeling your shiny self. You're not feeling like you are progressing forward, which is kind of perhaps disheartening and discouraging and all of the things and all of the things. Yeah, it is discouraging. It is disheartening that we feel like we can't move forward, that we feel, and yes, that's exactly where we are. Everybody's kind of sludging through the muck and the mud right now. And so know that you're not alone, that we're all moving through this really slow glacier pace. Molasses in January, however you define moving slowly. But remember that this is like a preparatory period. It's also reflect and review, because you learned something from all those planets being direct earlier in the year before June. I guess it was mid and late June when Neptune and Saturn went retrograde. You learned something. Something was brought to your attention, and you got to go back and look at it. And while we want to push forward and start grinding and all of those things, it's really an opportunity to reflect, reassess, be detail oriented, tap into your Virgo self. My Virgo friends are making fun of me right now because they know how much I don't like to deal with Virgo in my own personal situation. I love Virgo, but I don't like it for me. I'm too flaky, I'm too airy and watery for some kind of earthy crap. But it is an opportunity for all of us to really dig in and look at all the details. Where have you put on the rose-colored goggles so the red flags have become the white flags? Where have you missed some information? We've had a lot happen during this Mercury retrograde and even the pre-retrograde shadow of Mercury. So as he's getting ready to station direct, some resolutions will start to open up. But I don't think people are going to get quite the resolutions that they're wanting right now. We're all kind of in this, what is next? Come on, universe. But the universe is saying, no, 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 no. You gotta reflect and review and learn some lessons first. Let's see what's up with the Angel Tarot. And of course, if you would like to buy me a coffee, if you would like to work with me, if you would like to look at your sun and rising signs, I will put all of those links below. What else is below? How signing up for my newsletter, if you'd like to do that and hear about how astrology became a part of my coaching work. Of course, the Aquarius experiment, which again, I don't know if I'm going to continue that after August or not. Maybe a different video series, just kind of feeling through that right now. Or maybe not a series, because I do have some calendar things coming up in the next couple months. So we got the Ace of Air. Well, yeah. Let's see, brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth of a situation. A challenging beginning. And I think air is unicorns in this deck. Yes, yes, and yes. I think that I feel like if you are tuned in, tapped in to your solar plexus, to your intuition, bridging your third eye, your crown chakra with your solar plexus, like working those together, I feel like a new inspiring idea could come forth. Jupiter in Gemini, Mars in Gemini is a lot of information and ideas. Truths about a situation, again, clearing up those blind spots, maybe even asking the universe to give you guidance to see where you are in a blind spot, where you're missing something, where you're not seeing all of the information. So you can always request that the universe show you that information. And here's the thing about that. It's kind of like, you know, asking, you know, praying. It's the same sort of thing when you're asking for guidance. The thing is you've got to be open to the guidance, even if it's shit you don't like or resistance that you've been holding on to, or because that lesson's been presenting to you through this Mercury retrograde, through the pre-retrograde shadow. It's been presented to you. Are you avoiding it because you don't want to face the thing that you resist the most in change? Whether that's an ego thing, a behavioral thing, a habit thing, a routine thing, a relationship thing, whatever it is, maybe there's something you don't want to face. And so again, we all are guilty of putting the blinders on. Neptune at 29, I think Neptune might be at 28 now. But either way, Neptune towards the end of Pisces, you know, things are foggy AF. So, you know, again, we're all moving through like the most dense fog. And let me think of a different example, because I know there's some people out there who maybe don't understand the concept of fog. Okay, think about if you are trying to feel feel something, but you have gloves on. And so what you're trying to feel, or if you're trying to hear something, but you have headphones on, or you have your hat on, your hood up, your earmuffs on, and you don't hear the message clearly. You know, again, back to the gloves, you don't feel what you need to feel. You don't, you know, you've got something, maybe you've walked through some perfume, so your like olfactory sense is off because you walked through you know, some perfume or air freshener, right? And those neurotoxins fucked with your senses. But you know, so think about all of your senses. When I talk about something visual, but you're not a visual person, but maybe it's something like, you know, you're blocking off a sense in some way, whether it's gloves, a hood on your ears, you know, something covering your nose, or something, you know, that's keeping you from being able to feel the details or interact or sense the details. That would be the same thing as walking through fog visually. It's unclear what is being conveyed. So I hope that makes some sense. I hope that is helpful. I'm really practicing with non-visual people who don't vision. Oddly enough, I'm legally blind, but I'm very visual in my mind. And so things that are like a visual explanation or representation resonate with me. So I'm really practicing interacting with other folks who aren't able to visualize. So it's a thing. I forget what the term is off the top of my head. Somebody's going to write it in the comments for me because I can't remember. And I know I've given that word to some clients recently. So anywho, so that's what I got for the moon in Gemini. Thank you so much for tuning in, for supporting me. Please hit the like button. Please drop a comment, even if it's just to say, hey, thank you. All of those things, it does help support the growth of the channel and getting my work continued to get out there. So I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you on the next video.